Well, got to own that our home consistency is not there, and I'll take full responsibility for that. For whatever reason, it's not transferring over to when we get to the game, when we play at home. And just got to figure it out. The work is being put in, but it's not transferring right now, and I'll figure that out.
Coach, after the solid win on Friday, why do you think you guys came out so flat tonight?
I don't know. I really don't. I know we had a hell of a shoot around today. We really prepared for this game. Again, it's like we take a step forward, and then we get home and we take a big step back. You know, it's the same thing after Boston. You know, we play a hell of a game in Boston. Obviously, we wasn't happy with the result of the game, but we saw a lot of positive things that came out of that, and then we came home and we laid an egg. And, you know, I'm not sure what it is right now at home, and we just have to figure that out, and that's on me as the head coach to do that.
David, Steve and Scott talked to us in here after the game. That's pretty rare. They talked about being worried about the lack of consistency, not being happy with where the results are. Is that something they also addressed with you after this game?
Yeah, we talk a lot about everything. That's the one thing. We spend a lot of time together talking about our team and where it's at and what's going on with it. So we're always in communication with each other, and none of us are happy with it. But ultimately, that falls on me as the head coach. I have to figure out a way to build some consistency with this team throughout whatever the built-in excuses may be. And I'm not going to lean on any of those excuses. I'm going to keep driving this team to get them to a place where they can play consistent basketball, because it's in this group. You know, you don't play the Spurs the way we played the Spurs. You don't play Brooklyn the way we played them. You know, Boston, go into Dallas and get a win. You know, you just don't do those things and not be able to come back out against some of these other teams and play. But, you know, for perspective, well, a good friend of mine told me to never overreact to overreactors. We're 2 games from the 8th seed. The team that's in the AFC right now is 4 wins. So it's not that like, oh my God, everybody's, you know, acting like the world is coming to an end. It's not. We just have to find our consistency in our game so that we can start playing better basketball.
I know you said you own it, but they had kind of talked about effort and consistency. Do you feel like you're getting, when guys are getting down, that you're getting the effort, that guys aren't putting their heads down?
I feel like, I feel like guys do get down. I do feel like they, you know, they lose heart. And, you know, that's human condition. But, again, once we got down, they fought back again. We went on a little run. I thought we were right there to try to make a run to break through, but we just didn't have enough juice left in it. Too many turnovers again. We've been doing a good job with the turnovers, but tonight they really sped us up. 21 turnovers for 27 points with that team, and you just can't have that.
There's obviously Scott and Steve coming here and speaking is not something that happens often. They kind of implied a real sense of urgency to make sure that things happen and improve quickly. Do you feel that sense of urgency? Does that trickle down?
I live in that sense of urgency. I don't need anyone to speak to give me a sense of urgency. I'm not cruising through this thing, you know, acting like it's always like I got a bunch of time to get a team together. Every day I have urgency about this team, about how I coach them, about getting them better, about building consistent habits. So it's you know, I appreciate them speaking on my behalf and speaking about our team, but I live in that.
I was going to ask that. Do you think that the front office addressing it 10 games in was something that was necessary and needed?
Well, listen, however, I'm on board with whatever they decide to do when it comes to that stuff. They know I fully support them. You know, we're in this together, obviously, but I take the brunt of that responsibility because I'm the head coach. I make these decisions of what's going on the court, what players play, who plays together, what plays we call, the defensive system. That's on me. And so as much as I appreciate them, you know, I own it. and that's just who I am.
Coach, you talk about urgency with this roster, and you can't help but see that there's a large number of contributors on this roster who are 23, 22, sometimes 19 years old, and development takes time. It tends to be a step forward, step back. Is this a roster that lends itself to urgency, in your opinion?
I think you have urgency with all rosters. You're going out to win every single game. If maybe you don't have the experience or whatever it takes to do it, but again, those are built-in excuses, and I'm not leaning on those. I can sit here and say, oh, we got 10 new guys, and my point guards is out, and blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not giving myself that out. I'm not giving our team that out. We're going to keep working at it until we get over the hump. You don't go into Dallas and beat arguably one of the best teams in the NBA, the highest scoring team in the NBA, the number one offense, and then come back and lay an egg. That's unacceptable, and we just got to fix that.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.